Why the special effects of Justice League is not so good?
Yeah, but that was because so I did the principal photography with Zack, and we finished shooting. He started editing. I went to LA to do the color grade for the trailers. So the first three trailers of Justice League, they were all the things that we shot, and then they decided to reshoot. 7 months later, they did a reshoot, which was not that. I wasn't there. It was a completely different team, and they actually reshot, I think, 55 days. So the movie that's in the cinema was in the cinema is like maybe 10% is the stuff that we shot. Everything else is a reshoot. So I don't know what Zack's. I know how it would look, because when you watch the first three trailers, those are the ones that we made. So that's all of our stuff. So I know how it would look if it was a Zack Snyder cut. I don't know what the film would be like.
It seems to me, judging from our past conversations and others you've had, you're always going to be indebted to Zack. Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago and I brought up the Snyder cut, you're like, yeah, I need to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. But I've seen it, so.
I've seen
the Snyder cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zack couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished.
I mean, listen, man. Next question.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
You know, I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean,
right.
As a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Does it feel like a totally different movie than the Justice League that was released?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's hope. Okay.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the Justice League Snyder Cut. So like I've been saying for over 2 years now, the Snyder Cut exists and we are getting more and more prominent evidence. And in fact, Zack Snyder recently revealed an image that tells us the Snyder Cut does exist and tells us that the Snyder Cut was going to be over 3 hours long. Now, what is interesting is before this video started, I played a clip where Fabian, who was one of the Justice League cinematographers, he basically said, you heard it yourself, that what you've seen in this cinema was roughly 10% of Zack Snyder's original movie. Now that is mad, right? So when they did the reshoots, they were literally remaking the whole movie in something like 35 days, which is possible because a lot of it looked pretty sketchy. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. At the 100,000 subscriber marker, will be giving away a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X or a Switch with any game. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel so we get there faster. So much evidence is coming out, and my Instagram DMs is getting blown up because I've been following this and covering this for over 2 years. Before the Justice League movie came out, I did so many videos about Darkseid coming, and it makes so much sense now why the movie was going to be so much longer. We were going to have more Cyborg, Darkseid was going to show up, Green Lantern was going to show up. I mean, Zack Snyder's been dropping stuff on Vero for the last few months, if not year. Now, what is interesting is this information comes out less than 1 day after Henry Cavill reveals he knows nothing about the Snyder Cut. And there is a bit of a toxic fandom merging up again. So what essentially has happened is a Twitter handler called Release the Snyder Cut is basically telling everyone to re-upload the clip or the image of what Zack Snyder posted yesterday and then tagging Henry Cavill in. I do not agree with this toxicity in the fandom, guys. We can get this movie out without being toxic. So Zack Snyder revealed an image. Is it real? Does it exist? Of course it does. Now, what is interesting is a lot of people really didn't read this image properly. So it says 214, not 2 hours 14, 214 minutes, which if you're good at maths, that's over 3 hours long. You don't even have to be good at maths to work that out. So what the image is it's an image of the actual film roll that he made. Now, this necessarily does not mean the Snyder Cut was going to be 214 minutes, because we don't know at what value or at what time of filming this was, or what time in post-production this was. But we know one thing for real: Warner Bros. Cannot deny the fact the Snyder Cut does exist. There's so many cynical people. There's a clip going around, a collider going, yep, it's probably 30 or 40 minutes longer. And people going, yep, it's probably not going to add any context. Either way, even if the Snyder Cut is worse than the original cut, which it's not going to be, and you can attack me down below, guys, if you want, but just let everyone watch it and then you can make a judgment. Was Zack Snyder's variation better than the Sweden version? Because you've heard the cinematographer guy say 10% of it was Snyder's. 10% of a movie. I mean, I understand why Zack is pushing for this, because his name is being pushed heavily. He's been linked to a bad movie that's not even his movie. I cannot believe the ethics of Warner Bros. It's a family tragedy, and essentially they fire him and essentially reshoot his whole movie, and they still have the audacity to put his name on it. I mean, he's made 300, The Watchmen. He was with his wife, producer, directing. Okay, yeah, Patty Jenkins directed overall, but he was the producer on the Wonder Woman movie that everyone loves. So his name, his credibility as a director is up in the air because people link him to the Justice League movie. Now, there is no way he would be allowed to post this if he didn't have the image. So it's clearly in the Warner Bros. Lot, or maybe this was taken when he just finished shooting or finished editing, but there definitely is a Snyder Cut. Now, regardless to what Henry Cavill says, you should not go and attack him and tag him on post, because that's irrelevant. Just because Henry Cavill is literally the main star of the Justice League does not mean he's seen the Snyder Cut. We know Jason Momoa's seen it. We know Ray Fisher's seen it, aka Cyborg. We know Gal Gadot is now supporting it, but let's be honest, guys, a year ago she was not supporting it. We know Ben Affleck is supporting it. We know Henry Cavill has spoken about the Snyder Cut in the past, saying it probably won't even change anything. Now, you shouldn't attack someone if they have an opinion, you know? He says a really good thing in the Witcher interviews when he was interviewed about toxic fandoms. He basically says that the audience, the viewers, are allowed to have whatever opinion they want. But the issue here is Zack Snyder's name is being tarnished over something that's not even his work. I mean, even the color grading, the colors, everything was changed. If you go back and check the first trailers to the later trailers, they changed the color grading on everything. Snyder's version was much darker, and I hope this is the last video I have to make on this ridiculous subject now, because I've made so many Justice League Superman videos the last couple of weeks. It's getting boring for me because I'm repeating myself just with new information. So as we know, it is Brazil Comic-Con this weekend when it really kicks off, and we will be getting Wonder Woman 1984 trailer allegedly on Sunday, and then we will know if the alleged test screening is correct. Of course, guys, I will be reviewing and breaking down that trailer, and we're gonna know if it is real. We will know if the test screen is real based on what is in the first trailer. So it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see why is Kevin Feige there. Is it something to do with Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four, X-Men, or Black Panther 2? Well, I don't know, but he's got double the time he had at Disney 23. Over 40 minutes, which is a very long time if he's got nothing to reveal. And specifically, he's at the event this year, which is very interesting. America to Brazil, pretty long flight. Why is he there? Very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see if the alleged rumor that the Snyder Cut is going to be revealed at CCXP 2019. I don't really think they're going to reveal it there. Like I said, HBO Max could deliver it. Now, this is where a lot of general audience stroke people that don't know much get confused. Warner Bros. Is owned by AT&T, so it does not matter what anyone says at Warner Bros. Studios. It is owned by AT&T. They have invested a lot of money. They're in a massive debt now. They're billions. They're in big debt at the moment because they bought DC and everything related to DC. So, are they really going to let something sit in the background that's already there? I mean, you could argue that maybe 240 minutes won't be the full runtime of Snyder's version, but when you got someone like Jason Momoa, do you really think Jason Momoa is lying? Yeah, I've seen it. and it's very good. A very different movie, which if you correlate it back to what Fabian, the cinematographer guy, said, literally 10% of the movie made it into the theaters, and then Aquaman itself, Jason Momoa, who cannot get in trouble for saying anything because, you know, Aquaman 2 is coming, they made over $1 billion, and Wonder Woman has supported it. I mean, that's tweet she tweeted out, got supported by a lot of big people in Hollywood, so it's out there. And this is evidence that Snyder has released this image. This is evidence to me that Warner Bros. Are definitely in negotiations with Snyder to release this at some point down the road, most likely on HBO Max. And also that they're in talks with Henry Cavill to play Superman in Man of Steel 2. It is so freaking obvious. It really is. And I hope I can put this subject to the bed now, because I've spoken about it so much over the last couple of weeks. You could say I'm a Superman Justice League channel now. I'm not a Marvel channel anymore. But I am trying to cover everything, like I said in the community post that I did post yesterday. Check it out. Yep. I mean, the content's been a bit weird the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to be getting more regular content, more Marvel DC casual flow like it was before. But it is hard because there's been more DC news than Marvel. Marvel hasn't really had much news, but I will cover whatever Marvel news pops up in the next few days. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know, are you one of these cynics that are still going, yep, Snyder Cut doesn't exist? Guys, trust me, this image is not fake. A lot of people are saying, is it fake? Really? Really? You're questioning the image being fake. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.